Marhaba Habibis.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To catch the full episode, go ahead and subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/Habibi Bros to catch the full show in the links below.
Right below. Ben's mom? Come on.
Mr. President, can I ask you a quick question on Israel before you drive away?
No, you can't. I'm not letting you get in front of the car as I step on it. I'm only teasing.
The largest national nurses union is saying that the CDC guidelines on masks is putting frontline workers and especially people of color at risk.
Free fries when you get vaccinated. I got vaccinated. You're saying I could get this?
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi.
What's going on, Habibis? I'm Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Mujahed Kobbe.
And we're the Habibi Bros. Welcome to another episode of Habibi Power Hour Premium. How you doing tonight, Jay?
Not too bad. How are you?
Good.
After that nice drive you had.
God. Dude, I just drove out from the boonies to in true fashion. Just like an hour late to everything, and tonight's no different. But very excited to introduce our guest for this evening. You've probably seen her on Twitter. You've probably seen a lot of people be mad at her on Twitter, but I think this will be a very good conversation. I'd like to welcome Katie Herzog. Katie, thank you so much for joining us. Oh my God. How you doing, Katie?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm afraid I just got put on a watch list. Is that possible?
Well, if they weren't watching,
just a little bit.
If they weren't watching you before, they're definitely watching you now. Katie, you can find her on Twitter at Kitty Herzog, which honestly, as someone who is a fan of dad jokes, it's perfect. No pun intended.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And I also like your display pic because honestly, I didn't have to do much to make it look like you were in a burqa.
Okay, so you guys will appreciate this. So long before COVID, before everybody was graced with the ability to wear a mask in public without looking odd, I really wanted to wear a burqa because I lived in Seattle and people hated me there. And there are pictures of my face on stickers around Seattle that said Nazi sympathizer. And I thought if I could just wear a burqa, I could just like exist in the world with nobody seeing me. So COVID was the best thing possible to happen to me.
Man.
But I would actually prefer a burqa, I think, than a face mask.
Katie, it's never too late to embrace Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala into your heart.
I was afraid I would get caught
finger.
up for cultural appropriation.
Yeah, if you want, we can already get started on it.
Okay.
All right, so you gotta raise your right hand and your right
Okay.
finger and repeat after me. Say Ashadu.
Wait, what am I committing to right now?
You're converting to Islam.
Islam.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
this is what's
Okay.
happening. Yeah.
Ashadu?
You say Ashadu. Allahi.
Allahi?
Well,
Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu
yeah,
anna
I can't do it slow.
Muhammadan
Shut
Rasulullah.
up. Just shut. Ashadu.
Ashadu?
Allahi.
Allahi?
In Allah.
And Allah?
Wallahi.
Allahi?
Am I getting this right, Jay? Do you want to do it slow?
Ashhadu an.
No, hold on. Let me do.
Ashadu?
I did this.
Ilahi. Ashhadu an la ilaha. Ashhadu an
No,
la
hold
ilaha.
on.
Ilaha illallah. Muhammad.
Jay, shut up.
It's funny because the atheist can say it a little bit better than the Muslim can.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Jay, I got it. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. All right. Transliteration. Okay. Transliteration. Text. Here we go. Okay. Fuck me.
This reminds me of, I went to
Here we go.
I went to a Catholic wedding.
I got it. I actually don't know why I always mess this up. All right. We'll start over again. All right. La ilaha
Ilaha?
illallah
Illallah?
Muhammadan
Muhammadan?
Rasulullah.
Rasulullah?
It means I bear witness. It means I bear witness there is no God but God, and I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of God. Katie Herzog.
I'm converted.
Yeah,
I'm a person of color now. I'm a person of color. This is the best day of my life. This is the best day of my life. This reminds me
The very first lesbian Muslim
Thank
on our
you.
show. Let's see
Thank
it.
Thank you.
Yes.
So I was in Costa Rica a couple years ago. My wife has a good friend who's Catholic and Costa Rican, and so we went down.
Oh, wait.
down
You said you have a wife? Oh, Jay.
oh shit!
No, we gotta stone her.
Did my marriage just get annulled? So I went to this Catholic wedding, and I took communion because I was a little bit hungry during the wedding. So I just ate the cracker. And this is what this reminds me of. I am now both
great.
Catholic and Muslim. Thank you both. I am honored to be a part of your faith.
You are now.
Salam, sister.
Wow, you're now trad cath Muslim.
Oh, I can't wait to add this to my bio.
So
Yeah, it's gonna be
Katie,
great.
for people who aren't familiar with you at all, what is your elevator pitch? What do you tell people? Why are people so mad at you?
Because I'm Muslim.
Islamophobia is so prevalent right now.
Here in America, it's true. It's true. We are the three people who represent Islamophobia in America right now.
It is especially difficult for us queer Muslims.
Truly.
I don't know why people are mad at me, honestly.
When you're not getting thrown off the roof, you're getting thrown under the bus.
I know. Exactly. I don't know why people are well, I do know why. Okay. So the real story is that I wrote one problematic article 4 years ago, and it wasn't even really problematic. If you read it, it was a piece on detransitioners, so people who transition from one gender to the other and then transition back. And this was in 2017. And the piece was not an opinion piece, and it was when I read back, it's called The Detransitioners, and it was published at The Stranger, which is Seattle's alt weekly and where I worked before COVID. And when I read back on the piece today, it's sort of amazing that it caused such a shitstorm, because it is just I go out of my way to affirm trans identities in the piece, and it talks about right-wing attacks on trans healthcare and blah 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 blah. Just everything is hedging in a way that's almost embarrassing to read back, because it shows a sort of lack of commitment to the general thesis. But the story resulted in this insane Twitter pile-on, and it went offline because I lived in Seattle, and this was for the local all weekly. And so people put up stickers around town with a picture of my face calling me a Nazi sympathizer. There's another one that calls me a Jordan Peterson apologist, which is incredibly fucking embarrassing. People burn.
Why? Because you're a simp for Jordan Peterson?
I'm not a Jordan Peterson fan. I wrote a piece saying I didn't think that he was an actual Nazi.
Oh wow!
And I defended his.
How dare you?
I know. And
I mean, why don't you just go take buddy pictures with Hitler for fuck's sake?
I know exactly. Yeah, I was working on a piece. This was a couple years after the detransition piece was published. I was working on a piece about a documentary that was made about Jordan Peterson, and the documentary was being canceled. They had screenings, and then the people who worked at these theaters were complaining about it, and they were canceling these screenings. And so I was doing an interview with this couple who made this documentary, and they had a screening scheduled at a church in Portland, or outside of Portland. And while I was talking to them, they got a text message from the guy who scheduled this thing, this pastor at this church. And he said, I just got an email, and the email said, I'm not going to remember it, but it was something about if you have this screening, we're going to have to bring the guillotine out to your church. We will fucking murder you if you have this screening. Wow. It was totally hyperbolic. He was never actually in danger, but that was right. My interest in this thing was not about Jordan Peterson. It was about the reaction to Jordan Peterson. Anyway, so shit went really crazy. People burned stacks of the paper after this piece about detransition and sent me video of it. I went from being this a normal person in Seattle to being like persona non grata, and it was very strange, and but also like oddly good for my career because nobody had ever heard of me before this, and then all of a sudden like people knew who I was because people were like trying to cancel me before the term cancellation existed. I mean, like burning fucking stacks of the paper. It was really crazy.
I mean,
yeah.
Way to hate on trees, Seattle.
Right.
Seriously,
Right.
what the fuck?
Yeah, I had to do the closest thing I can imagine to a struggle session where I had to meet with members of the trans, like self-appointed leaders of the trans community who like snapped in my face and told me I was responsible for the suicide of trans women. I've been blamed for like the murders of trans women that have happened in fucking Brazil and Puerto Rico. There's just this, it's now just sort of accepted within the like community that I live in that I am deeply transphobic and that I have caused people to die. And it's weird because I like am not. And I like am like
Wow.
and I'm like actually in favor of like trans people having access to healthcare, and I'm not in favor of bathroom bills. And
like,
I don't know.
Katie, hold on. Why? So basically, you embracing Islam just means you finally have
I have an excuse.
a rightful cause to kill trans people.
I was
basically.
not transphobic until a minute ago. And now